Welcome, everybody, to Forget About It Junk Removable YouTube channel. I'm your host, Paul Italia. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Before we bring on today's guest, I just wanted to do a quick plug of a couple of my friends put out some great books out there. We got the book Leading with Purpose by Kevin Hess. And if you guys are subscribers to the channel, I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways. And I had Kevin autograph a bunch of his books and all. And I'm going to be doing some giveaways with Kevin's book. So definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting up shortly of how you can win your own free copy of Leading with Purpose. Then also definitely want to make a shout out. We got Xavier just came out with a book series, Junk Removal Secrets, Commercial Leads. I've been going to work on this every day, just reading about everything. And he's got his second book right here. Really, really great info, guys. Xavier is so knowledgeable in junk removal and has worked with a lot of the big franchises and knows all their tips and tricks. And he's kind of sharing all the secrets. So, if you can get over to Amazon, you could get your copy over there. They're real reasonably priced, and I definitely recommend it. I'm still on the first book, but so much great knowledge just given, and as far as email campaigns and ways to do things that I never would have thought of. So definitely get over there, support one of our own. Xavier's doing great things for the community and all, and let's just show our love and definitely buy his book for sure. So, with that being said, I want to introduce today's guest, and they are true OGs in the junk removal industry. They are actually the people that got me all up in this business. I started just binge watching all their YouTube channel. I call it YouTube College, and learned so much stuff from them. So, it's a real honor to have them on my channel. So, let me welcome Sonoma Strong, Matt Vick, and JoJo Vick. What's up, guys? How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, doing good. Appreciate the shout out. And those books are great books. I got all three books. So, yeah, make sure people go over there and snatch one of those up. We're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great. Thanks for having us on. And we're surviving all the rain. Actually, had like a little break. Actually, seen the sun for a little while today. So that was great.
Yeah, I was gonna say that so I got back on Tuesday. I went out to the East Coast and had a wedding over there, and I get back, and every second of the day it's been raining since I've been home, and it's just got crazy. I just tried going up to the gym yesterday over in Rohnert Park, and it was like a river. Thank God I had the big truck and everything, but there was like 3 feet of water going in front of the gym, and all the roads were closed off. And I was just saying, oh my God, I can't imagine if I was up and running with the junk removal business, like how would that be going on right now? So how's business in the rain when it's gets crazy during rain season here?
So, when it gets crazy and flooding like this, it will slow down because people don't want to do stuff. We did knock out a few jobs today. So in California, it doesn't slow down that much, but it all depends on the weather. If you got a sunny day or it's nice outside or a little bit cloudy, you're good. You're going to stay busy. But if it's pouring down, flooding and stuff, and out here, there's flood warnings. Don't go down this road. Don't go here. No one wants to do nothing. They just want to huddle up and stay inside by the fire. So that's how it is.
Yeah, in other states where it snows and you have more seasons, then obviously you're going to really slow down in the winter months. Here, we don't really get the snow. We don't really get the typical four seasons. So we have really noticed through the years that it's more weather related, not what time of year it is, because it could be December and it could be really good weather and your phone will ring. We actually had a December was one of our biggest months one time. So, it doesn't really matter. I used to always say when the flowers blooming, junk removals booming. But yeah, when you have nice weather, it's typical. People that when they stay inside, when it's freezing cold or when it's raining, they're not doing a whole lot. But as soon as the weather gets nice and they're starting to do yard work, people are going to Home Depot. your phone's going to start ringing.
And the good thing too is there's going to be a lot of storm debris cleanup. There's going to be a bunch of stuff like in Guerneville. It's going to get flooded out. There's going to be all kinds of debris there. There's going to be fallen trees. There's going to be stuff people just want to get rid of after this storm is done with. So that's a plus too.
Oh, that's great to hear. And I want to shout out Green Up Junk Removal. Thank you for joining in, guys. And if you have any questions for Matt and JoJo, please feel free to put them in there, and I'll definitely make sure to run through those for sure. So I first want to start off with talking about that amazing junk expo you guys held, about a month ago. And, I got to say, that was just unbelievable. Just so many great speakers all under one roof. So many great people just from the junk removal industry. There was a couple hundred people there. Everybody was so welcoming, so nice. It was definitely a great experience. So if you guys didn't get to make that first one, definitely, if Matt and JoJo do another one, you definitely do not want to miss this. I know a lot of people weren't able to get the tickets because they were sold out, and people were hitting me up because I was putting out highlight videos of some of the speeches, and they were like, damn, I really missed it. I got to make sure to make the next one. And I'm like, can't sleep on the tickets. When Matt's telling you that they're selling out quick, definitely go over there and purchase them. But I want to kind of find out like the behind the scenes, like, how did it go for you guys? Were you guys happy with the whole turnout? Was there anything that you would change on the next one? Kind of fill us in on all the little details.
So we had an amazing time meeting everyone.
Yeah.
It went better than we thought, for sure. I mean, tickets sold out. People were blowing me up right before the event for at least 3 weeks before the event happened. I get tickets. I get on the ticket list. Can I get tickets? I said, nope, we're sold out. Sorry. The only thing that I would change is have more breaks. And other than that, the food wasn't good. Just a few more breaks in between speakers. We had too many speakers back to back. Other than that, I want more networking next time where people can like go to the vendors, talk to people, chop it up with us, with other YouTubers. And just pretty much the food wasn't good at all. When we had our wedding there,
it was on point.
It was on point.
Really good.
Other than that, I love the event.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was a great turnout, and it pretty much went how I had expected it to go. I knew that it was just going to be really good vibes, good people. Everyone's going to be really happy to network and see, everyone else. But yeah, I agree with Matt. The food, the service too. There was a little bit behind the scenes is we actually weren't able to get in there to set up until it was after 8 o'clock the night before, and there was a lot to set up. So we were really, and the place was, when we got in there at 8 o'clock, we couldn't just start right away because they were tearing down from an event that they had, and it was a mess. It was a mess, and it took them like even the next morning I walked in and I was like, oh, they haven't even vacuumed yet. And so we had a much better experience at the place when we had our wedding than we did with the event. But the event was a lot more people, and I don't know if they were quite prepared for that. It took forever for the lunch to come out. When it did come out, it was cold, and it was hard, and I was like, oh, well, this isn't very good. So yeah, if we were to do it again, we would definitely have more breaks, and have a much different, better food, and it would be somewhere else. So because that, it's just, I think we have outgrown our wedding location.
I want to shout out Load Runners. They said, what's up, guys? Load Runners checking in. Let's get it. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate that. And like I said before, to Green Up, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll definitely run them by Matt and JoJo. As far as what I observed, if you guys didn't tell me any of this, I thought it just went so smooth. Everything was amazing, from the second I got there, which, was like, I think it was like 15, 20 minutes before starting time, and everything was just ready to go. And I was a little overtaken when I first walked in and I seen how many people were actually there. I was not expecting such a big turnout. I'm like, oh, this is amazing right now. And just to see so many people from all over the country, and it's like, you communicate with a lot of people online, but actually to see them in person was just like so amazing. You could like connect the name of the company with the face and all, and it was just, for me, it was just amazing. I really loved every part of it, and I didn't really see a problem with the food either. I was pretty happy with it, and I definitely ate my whole meal. But I do got to say, by the end of the day, though, I got hit. I don't know if it was from somebody there or something. I definitely got my stomach virus that day. Like I felt it towards like the end. During the day I was all fine, and then like that last 2 hours, I just felt like I got hit with a bus, and I was just like not feeling good. My stomach was turning, and after when I went home from that, because I was planning on arm wrestling a bunch of people after, time that it was over, I was just like, oh my God, I feel like death. I got to get home. So I ended up going home and being in bed for the next week and a half. Like, I mean, felt like I was ready to die and all that. And now I see everybody's getting this stomach virus, so I must have got it first before everybody else. But other than that, what an amazing experience, and I really, really was happy. And the one thing I do want to bring up is one of the speeches that really, really stuck out to me was Matt's story at the end. And I was kind of kicking myself because I came there with two phones, and I had to stand, and I was getting all the footage and all the content. This way I could go home and just kind of like digest everything, break everything down, and just get all this knowledge all on paper. And my phone went dead. It was like the last one at Xavier's speech. Halfway through, my phone just went dead, and I was so upset after seeing Matt give his inspirational story and all. So what I want to do right now is I just want Matt, if you could just kind of tell us your story of how you got into junk removal, because I think a lot of people that day were real surprised to hear that story and very inspired from it. So if you could kind of catch everybody up with that.
Yeah, I won't dive deep into it because I don't want to get caught up and catch a case, but we'll dig a little bit into it. So my story. I've been to jail more times than I've been to school dances, from Santa Rita, juvenile hall, from downtown Santa Clara, Richmond, Martinez, the farm. Just everywhere. I've been in and out of jail. From the age of 15 to 35 years old, all I did was sell drugs. Sold drugs. So all I knew was, hey, how to make money fast, easy money. The only person I cared about was myself. So for a long time, I didn't care about no one else but myself. I lost my family, lost my friends, lost myself. Went through drug addiction, and it took a long time for me to find myself. And I went to the Salvation Army program over here in Hillsburg, California, and it changed my life. So I was 35 years old when I went there. I met the JoJo at Safeway, at the grocery store, and actually prayed for a good woman. It's crazy. I was at Salvation Army in the program praying for a good woman, and God like walked her into my life. And we pretty much started a business in an apartment complex, not having no idea how to start a business because we needed a change. I need to make a change. I'm 35 years old. I ain't got no money. I ain't got shit. We both started over with 2 garbage bags. When I went to the Salvation Army, I had 2 black bags. She started her life over with 2 black bags because she got in a divorce with her husband at the time, and he burnt her stuff and all that stuff. So we started over at the same time with the same amount of stuff. So we were real hungry, and we started the trash business, not knowing how to start a business, and had no idea there was so much money in the garbage business. So when I was at the program, we were picking up donations for the Salvation Army, and people kept asking me when we denied the donations, hey, we can't take this. There's like cat spray on it, piss on it, there's rips on it, we can't take this. And they always asked us, well, who can we call? And that's where I got the idea from. You know what? I'm over here at Safeway working, slaving away, making $15 an hour. And I was like, I got to do something. And I was like, you know what? What about trash business? A moving business and trash business. And thank goodness we stayed to the trash business. It's way easier than moving. And that's how it all started. We were broke, hungry, needed to make a change, started with a pickup truck, and it just took off from there.
And sorry, JoJo, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say I can add to that because we had no idea how much money you could make in the garbage business. It's crazy. I remember wanting to, support Matt in his decision to do this and everything. And I asked him, I'm like, "What's your goal? Like, what's your vision? What would you like to see come of this?" And at that point, he was just like, "I just want to get ahead in life, and if I could just make like $2,000 a month, just $2,000 a month extra." I'll be happy because I can like put it away and get ahead in life. And I remember I didn't, crap in his Cheerios or nothing, but I did say, "Hey, yeah, you could do that someday." Someday I'm thinking that's a good goal to strive for. And someday to me, I was thinking, months down the road, a year down the road, to me, just a teacher working, that's $2,000 a month. That's not at that time, to me, $2,000 extra a month was really good money. And I had no idea that he did that his first month. He was able to make over $2,000 extra from, and mind you, it was a side hustle because he was still working at Safeway. And then from there, he changed his goal to $300 a day. And I'm like, that means somebody has to call you every day to take out trash. Every day, $300 every day, because I wasn't making that. And I was working 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours sometimes. So it's just, yeah, interesting. There's a lot of money in the trash business.
How old are you today, Matt?
So I am 43 years old.
43. And how has your life changed from, 35, you were kind of down and out and trying to find something new, to today where you're at now?
Oh, shit. Let me tell you. So at age 35 years old, I was broke, had no cash, lost in the world, not knowing which direction I was going to go at all. Didn't even have a driver's license. I was on probation in 2 different counties trying to get my life together, right? I moved to Sonoma County, started this trash business. And one thing you can't take away from me is my hustle. I got to hustle. So it's easy to start a business, but how good of a hustler are you? So within 7 years of running this business, I've been able to have more money in the bank than I ever had in my life. I'm an investor. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a coach. I'm a business owner. I bought a house. I put 20% down on the house. You mean it would have never, ever happened if it wasn't for the trash business. I got my dream truck out front. I got a beautiful boat. Anything I want to do to the house, hey, we need a new roof. We got a new roof. We need some new flooring. We got some new flooring. You want to get the house painted? We get the house painted. You want to do some landscaping out front? We get that shit done. It has changed my life to the max. I never thought my life would ever be this good, and it keeps getting better and better each and every day. And I thank God for that too.
JoJo, how's it changed for you? Were you ever expecting to be in the position you were when you first started this junk removal business?
No. And I think that's one reason why people enjoy watching us on YouTube. And we have, I don't know if you noticed this at the Junk Expo, but there's a lot of couples out there doing junk removal.
I definitely noticed that 100%.
Yeah. And it feels really good to know that it's really just people looking for hope, needing a change in life, not happy with where they are in life, and when they find us, especially if you go back to the older videos, we really were just an authentic couple in the very beginning that had no idea really what they were doing, but they were willing to learn as they went. We learned as we went with a growth mindset. And I always believed in, like, if you don't know how to do something, learn how to do it and do it yourself. And so many people, in this business will try to get in your pocket to do all kinds of stuff. And I did not know how to do a website. So no, our business has grown beyond our wildest dreams. It really has. Because when we started, like we said, it was just to get ahead. And then you change your goals because you reach them, right? And it's fun. It's awesome. It feels really good to land a goal, did that, and then you create a new one. And you often, when you create new goals, you have to learn new skills to get to that goal. And as a team, we complement each other really well because he's really good at certain things that I may struggle in. And I'm really good at, so I am a good teacher because I'm good at, yes, you can just try it again and push and push because, the junk expo, it's something we both wanted to do, but I was like, well, there's no time like now. We should just do it. We should do it. And I think we could sell out. We could totally sell out and it's going to be great. And then with Matt, and his speech, yeah, I was like, would you be willing to do that? And he'd never done anything like that before. And at first he's like, I don't know. Maybe you could do all the stage stuff and I'll just do other stuff. And I'm like, I think you could do it. We do it now. Doing it on stage, it's a little different, but very similar. And then when he said, I think I could tell my story, I'm like, if you do that, you'll get a standing ovation. And I got to put you at the end because I want everyone to leave feeling like they can accomplish anything because you did that. And then
I kept it raw and uncut. So if you went to the Junk Expo, you guys know the real story. So I don't put it out there on YouTube. So if we ever do have another Junk Expo, I'll definitely do it again and put more details into it. And really, my story is off the damn hook. Like when we go out to eat, to go get some steak, I'll tell you more about it. Like I had a crazy life that I used to live, and I just changed my whole ways. And the people I surround myself with, like all my family members, a lot of them sold drugs, did this, did that. I had to cut a lot of people off in my life, family members, friends. And I just pretty much now just do me. I just do me, and me and the JoJo just do us. And just really, unless you're doing something in life, I can't mess with you. Not trying to be that person, but I only have a certain amount of time in my day to do shit. So if you're with that BS, you're with that negative stuff, I don't mess with you. I can't do it. Like when I met you, I knew off bat. I was like, you know what? He's a go-getter for sure. I said, I like him. I said, JoJo, what'd I say?
He came home and said that. Oh, he's a go-getter. He's doing it. So, yeah.
Real recognize real. Entrepreneurs recognize other entrepreneurs. Dweller, he asked a question. What do you plan to do after the life of your body? I don't get what that question means. But we got Andrew Thompson in the house. He'll be joining us shortly. What's up, brother? How you doing? If you guys haven't already, make sure to check out Autopilot. And Dweller's saying a bunch of things. He says, I was practicing drums for a band in Metallica studio. I was making 80 grand a year as a union plumber. I had the truck. I wanted everyone would compliment me as one of the clothes I wanted. I'm not getting what you're talking about, really. Stopped at a light. Hey, man, do you have any socks? The man asked. From the moment on, I was embarrassed of what I've done for myself. Play awesome truck was like a trophy that rode around on.
Sounds like a J-Cat.
List of things I truly believe to have changed in my life.
Very, very cool story there. Thank you for sharing, brother. So what I want to do is I want to kind of get into, make this towards the newbies, people like myself that are just getting into junk removal. And my first question is how to start a junk removal business in 2024.
Ooh, so it's harder now. I would say it's a little harder now than it was when we first started.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a lot more people doing it now. You really got to be a hustler. You really got to get your name out there, get your brand out there, and you got to have systems in place. You can't, 7 years ago when we started this business, there was maybe 70 haulers, 60 haulers out here in Sonoma County. Now there's anywhere from 100 to like 120. There's like trailers on every single street corner advertising, hey, we do junk removal. So you got to just be a beast, go out there and make shit happen, and don't be a complainer and educate yourself. That's why it's so important to watch these YouTube videos of people dropping knowledge or going to these events and being around people that are where you want to be at. So it's going to be harder, but it can be done.
And not only that, in one way, it's easier. And I'll explain that, because when we did first start, we were searching YouTube, and there was like 2 people you could watch. There really was like 2 people. That's it. And so we would sit there, and there's the one person in particular, Tim Doss, we would watch, and I would like be setting. I always have pen and paper. I would be setting, and I would learn at least one thing in every video he did. And it was something as simple as SEO. I was like, what's he talking about? What in the world is he talking about, SEO? And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, well, I should have known that. I just didn't know the term, but search engine optimization. Okay, now I know what he's talking about. But I didn't know how to do a website. I did all kinds of things I didn't know. But what I mean by easier is now you can search junk removal. There's not just us, there's all kinds of information on starting junk removal. And the books that you just showed, there's Leading with Purpose, which would help in any business, actually even help if you're a parent, really good, and just leadership skills, and it's right there for us to order or read. And then Xavier comes out with the other stuff. And it's like, we didn't have this before, like how to get commercial leads, like inside scoops on stuff. So, some people whine and complain. Oh, people are selling books. Oh, people are doing classes, oh, they're saturating the market with their YouTube videos. But really, you wouldn't be complaining about those things if you were doing really, really well in your business, and you would do really well in your business if you took classes, took courses, went to expos, read books. Yeah. We live in a time where you can get a lot of information out there.
And I would say too, if it wasn't for Tim Doss and his videos back in the day, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I got a lot of knowledge from his videos. So YouTube is a place where you can learn a lot of shit.
So I want to shout out the Junkster. He said, Junkster here. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in, brother. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we'll definitely make sure to bring them up. So I got to say about the whole YouTube thing. I am getting a little overwhelmed. My head is kind of spinning. I chose to wait to January 1st to get actually up and running and all that. So I've just been, trying to go through YouTube and kind of figure out everything. And the one thing that I've learned in the junk removal business is that everybody's trying to sell you something, some sort of program, some sort of service and all. And you start thinking that you need everything. And you start kind of getting like anxiety, like, if I'm not doing this part, I don't know anything about SEO. Should I hire somebody for SEO? Should I hire somebody to make a website? All that crazy stuff. And, I do know there is some haters out there. I've been listening to a couple other old school guys in the industry, and you could see, they got their own YouTube channel, and they're kind of like, telling everybody, oh, you shouldn't go and get a coach. You shouldn't go and do this. And you start second guessing everything and what's the right way to do things and all. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, what is like the basics that, for somebody like myself that's starting in January and all, where do I want to start? Because you could also come into this and just drop crazy money and get everybody's services and, get people to build your websites and all that. What do you actually have to do to be successful and, not just drop a crazy amount of money before you're actually earning money?
So what I would do for sure is get a website. I would get a Google My Business. I would go on YouTube and learn how to put keywords into your website. And also on Google My Business, there's ways you can feed it and do certain things to help it out. You want to definitely get your reviews up, and you want to be on every single free platform out there and just stay consistent advertising all the time. And one thing me and the JoJo didn't do at first, I wish we would have done, was had a CRM. The reason why is it's like you can run a business. Like I ran a business without a CRM. Like, I did that and it was cool. but it's like going mudding in a 2-wheel drive truck. You can do it, but you're only going to get so far. You want to have the right systems in place if you want to grow your business and run a business, especially when you don't want to be on the trucks no more, or you want to send people out. You want to have all those contacts in there. You want to have all the information in there. So I'm gonna give Andrew a plug. We use Autopilot. I'm an investor. So if you guys want to check out Autopilot, that's one thing me and the JoJo didn't do at first, was have a CRM in place. So it's so important. A lot of people say, oh, you don't need that. You don't need that. Trust me, all the big boys, they need that. They use that. The reason why, it works. You'll make more money with it.
Yeah, we didn't understand the value of your customers' information, you know, and your big businesses, they know, they've always known. That's why they have you fill something out, like at least your email before you can even like shop on their website, right? You have to sign in. There's so much value in being able to contact past clients, you know, either whether it's like a text blast or an email, or just some way to, you know, contact your past clients. But actually, going back to your question, because your question was, what are the things you need to do? Because like we didn't have money, so we couldn't pay somebody to do a website for us. So I actually just had to learn how to do that. And I took advantage of working on the weekends. I was working at a lodge, and I just had a lot of downtime where people weren't coming in. So I just got on GoDaddy, and I was like, well, how hard is it? You know, and I was messing around, and I was like, oh, well, this is where you insert pictures, and this is where you can put wording. This is pretty easy. So I did ours myself. Now, it was basic. It was a website. It wasn't the absolute best. And there wasn't a ton of keywords because I didn't understand all of that. But as I learned more, I kept adding to it and learning more. And then I was like, oh, so you shouldn't use stock photos. You should take pictures yourself and actually post it up there. That helps your SEO. So you learn little tricks and you change them as you learn them. And you just keep adding to it. And I also feel that it's better to do it yourself, because if you're doing a lot of stuff to your Google My Business and your website, and you're posting on Instagram and Facebook, when you do one thing different and your phone starts ringing more, you're like, oh, if somebody else is doing that for you, you have no idea. You just think. And if you call them, they'll just say, oh, you're just ranking now, or whatever they're going to say to you. But if you notice that, I noticed every time I did an update on our website, our phone rung for like crazy for the next couple of days after I did that. And I was like, that's what, so you know what works and what doesn't work in your area. And with Google Business, if you have somebody that's taking care of all that for you, how do they know, unless they do some extreme research, how do they know what are the high income areas in your city? How do they know all those keywords and all those zip codes, and are they actually going to go to those cities and take pictures and upload them on Google Business Profile? They're not doing any of that. So I just, I don't always trust those big companies.
Yeah. So one thing you got to be aware of if you're just starting this type of business or any type of business is be careful of people trying to separate you from your money. Because trust me, you'll get phone calls all the time saying, hey, you don't rank on Google. Hey, we can make you rank on Google. We can do this. We can do that for you. Like the JoJo said, when you do it on your own, you see what works. You know it's working. Hey, that worked. I can buy 50 more signs and put 50 more signs out. Or, hey, you know what? I ran a Facebook boost over here in this target area right here. You know what? We landed that $3,000 job and that $2,000 job. Let's keep it running. Let's keep doing that. So that's a benefit of doing it yourself than paying someone else to do it for you. Now, I'm not saying there's not good companies out there. There are, but there's a lot of scammers and people just trying to take your money. So just be aware of that.
How long was it until when you got your business up and running that you built your website and you did Google My Business page? Was that at day one?
So I highly suggest that we did all these things before we even had all the money saved for our truck. And that's our pickup truck because we started with just a used pickup truck. So, I created the website, we created a Yelp.
We did every single thing.
We had everything because I remember we did like we were in business for maybe 3 weeks, and we went to this one house, and when the lady was done, she was like, "Oh, I love like all of your guys' stuff, your Yelp, your website. How long have you been doing this for?" And I think I said like 2 or 3 weeks, and she just looked at me and she was like, "Oh, I thought you guys had been doing this for years." But that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look like we already kind of had a presence, like we didn't just start. But in order, you have to have all those things in place, before you start.
And I think the way that you're starting your business is the best way to do it. Like, you started your business watching a bunch of videos, trying to figure out the game and seeing what works and what doesn't work. You know what I mean? And then like you just educated yourself, and now you're like on YouTube interviewing the top dogs in the business, which is great too. So every time you do an interview, guess what? You're learning more stuff every single day. So that's the way to do it.
Yeah, actually, I've been like a sponge in this world and just trying to learn from everybody the best ways of going at things. And what I am realizing is that I'm seeing the strengths that each top dog has in this industry and how they utilize that. And there's so many different routes to being successful in this industry. And, I've also seen a couple of the OG channels that have been in the game for a very, very long time, even longer than you guys. They got like their set way and they kind of dismiss any other way. And, almost every industry that I've got into business wise, I've watched that occur, and it's always the OGs that are mad with the new evolving ways that they're stuck in their old ways. And, they kind of dismiss the newbies coming in that are applying their strengths and showing us different ways to be successful. So the main thing that I want to make clear is, from being in so many different businesses, there's not just one way to be successful. There is many different ways and different routes that people take, and that is one of the things that I'm learning definitely in this business. I look at you guys and I the first thing that comes to me is organic growth, from, being out every day and, putting out yard signs and, networking with all the local people. And, that seems to be your bread and butter and what you guys are very good at, but I've also seen other guys, and that's why I have Andrew Thompson coming on here as well. And he went at it a different way where everything is kind of like online marketing and Google ads and, SEO. And, I'm not saying that you guys aren't doing some of those things too, but, where you guys are more focused on is the organic growth and all that. And that's what I really love, that there's so many different ways to get to that success. And you should learn from everybody and keep, each one in mind and see which one applies best for you and your business. Also,
Yep.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I also want to say I'm very happy to see we got 30 people in here watching.
Right.
Definitely going to run through, some of the comments in here. And just because we have so many people in here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to raffle off at the end of the show one of Kevin Hess's books, Leading with Purpose. I really, truly believe in this book. I think any entrepreneur in any business is going to see the value in this. So, stay tuned, everybody. At the end of the show, I'm definitely going to raffle off one of these, and somebody's going to be a lucky winner to that. I just want to catch up on some of the people in the chat. We got Admired C. He says C&J Junk Removal here from Ohio. What's up, brother? How you doing? Green Up Junk Removal. He just said, I got my truck back from getting my logo all over it. Also took it one step further. Have a white Dodge Charger I got on the cheap. It looks tight and is so loud. So I got my logo on it just like my truck. The only thing I want to say about that green up junk removal, and just so that you could look into that for yourself, is you got to be careful with as far as putting logos on your personal truck, especially if you only have personal insurance. You technically should have commercial insurance, and that's something that, if God forbid you got into an accident on the road, the first thing those other people are going to do is write down probably your business name and make a report that it was a business truck, and you might have some problems with the insurance if you don't have the proper commercial insurance. So I strongly urge you to go and talk with, if you don't have an insurance broker, talk with Toby Stubbs. He is the man in the junk removal industry. I've had him on interview a couple of times. He is just an amazing guy. And just let me give you a quick example. I was getting quotes in California and all, and for commercial insurance for my NPR dump truck, and I was hearing 17,000, 20,000. I kind of shit my pants. I got to be real with everybody. I was expecting a lot less. I was expecting it to be expensive, maybe like 10K or something. But when I'm hearing 17,000, 20,000, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be working for an insurance company to pay them off. So when I met up with Matt, that was one of the first things that we talked about. And Matt was like, yo, bro, I got the person for you. Go hit up Toby Stubbs. He's from Chicago. He's just the guy. He's got so many connections. He knows how to get around things and all. So the first thing I did is I hit up Toby, and I kind of just told him what I was trying to do. He got on the phone with me on a three-way. He called a couple of these insurance companies that gave me prior quotes, and I realized that I was putting wrong titles on certain things and doing things not the right way, and because of that, it was really jacking up the price and the quotes. So just by him being involved in this process, it took some time. It was a little over a month. I had some other things going on. I had to change licenses in states and all that just to make things work out and all. But at the end of the day, he got me in $6,000. So we went from the minimum was 17,000 before that. And it was actually the day of the junk expo that morning, because I really wanted to bring my truck up there, but I did not want to take a risk and drive it without commercial insurance on it. He called me up that morning. He's like, yo, I got great news. So I went in there happy as hell. Toby really, he saved me, we're talking like, 11,000 off the bat, for the year. So definitely somebody great to talk to. And so green up junk. I didn't mean to go on a whole, spiel with that, but definitely check your things out with commercial insurance and having your personal vehicle wrapped. Jeffrey Landon's in the house. He goes, ha ha. I feel like you're talking about Ricardo saying that. Yeah, it's funny, bro. Yeah, you know it, man. I've been following Ricardo from the beginning. I love the guy. I love that he has no filter, and he'll say whatever's on his mind, even if it hurts people's feelings and all that. But a couple of things that he puts out there business wise. Now, I'm not in junk removal, and his whole claim to fame is 17 years in junk removal, and he knows the way and what you should do and what you should do, which I respect. That you're an OG, you did this, you know pretty much everything that the business entails and all. But me coming from a business background, went to college, got all my degrees, and I've had 10 successful businesses since then. And you start learning basics in business and what works and all, and just a lot of things that he says, I gotta say they're wrong. You know what I mean? I just don't agree with it. And it's not just me knowing anything about the junk removal business, it's just business overall. And that's why I'm also having both people on today. I have Andrew Thompson about to pop on. I got you guys on, and that's to show that there's different ways to achieve greatness in this industry. There's not always just one cut formula that's going to work to get you there. And then also, I also seen a recent video that he put out saying that having multiple businesses is not going to work out for you in the junk removal industry. And I'm just like kind of scratching my head trying to like, how does that make sense? I'm your perfect example right here. And he was saying, well, if you were successful in another business, there's no reason you would go and open another business. And I'm just looking and I'm thinking like, no, that's definitely not true, bro. Because, anything that I get into, I go in there with the thought and mindset of I'm going to build this business, scale this business where I'm not going to be running day to day. I'm setting up to put systems in place and to have it where I'm going to have teams of good people that over the years that I'm going to come across, and then I'm going to put them in into the proper positions and all. And I've always did that in every business I did. Now, I agree with him in a certain sense with that. If you have a business that entails that you got to be there day to day, and now you're trying to also get into junk removal and have to be in there day to day, then yes, I do agree. But my other businesses run themselves these days. You know, I had a lot of extra free time. I got into the arm wrestling world. I started a promotion company. I just had so much extra time that I started realizing I'm wasting a lot of time in the arm wrestling business and, you know, just kind of doing my hobby. And I'm putting like 8-9 hours a day in it. What am I doing? I'm doing YouTube. I'm setting up all kinds of events all over the country and all that. And then I said to myself, you know, I could be utilizing my time better and making it more profitable and all that. So I decided I wanted to get into another business, and that's where I found junk removal. So I got to disagree with you, Ricardo, on that, man. I respect you as a person. You know, I know you're very successful. I know you just started your haunted houses, and it's so funny because once I heard about him and his haunted houses, I started looking them up, and I've been going on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That might be a perfect fit for me over in Florida. Maybe that's something after I get this business up and running. Maybe that's going to be the next thing. It definitely caught my interest, you know? So I just wanted to say that, you know what I mean? And I mean, no disrespect to Ricardo. I think he's a great guy. I love people that have no filter and are willing to say anything and all. And, you know, I just certain things I do disagree. And I do want to invite Ricardo to come on, interview one of these days and, you know, kind of just talk it out with him and all. So, yeah, and also want to shout out, we got somebody with a truck. He's in the house. We got Dweller. He says, what percentage be recycle? How much stuff do you come across that you can recycle?
I don't really have a percentage, but I would say we come across a lot of stuff we can recycle. We have a scrap yard right down the street. So you'll catch me there probably at least 2 to 3 times a week, dumping a load of some metal over there. There's just so much stuff you can recycle and donate, and you can make money off the recycling stuff too. The thing is, out here in California, you kind of want to have a yard to do that stuff, to bring like all the shit home and kind of do one big load and run over there. So we make a little bit of cash, but not a whole lot. I'll say what percentage, maybe it's hard to say, huh?
Like what percentage
of the jobs would you say we recycle stuff? Maybe 10% of the job, 15% maybe?
I don't know, that's just really hard because sometimes you'll show up and it's almost all metal.
Yeah.
And then other times, you know, you just have a metal pile.
Like today we did a job and it was a storage unit clean out. We did a load in like a little bit less than a half load there, and the rats got in there. The shit was all wet, so we had to dump everything.
Wow. Okay. What's up, Monkey and Junk Removal? What's up, everyone? They say Intact Junk Removal. What's up, guys? How you doing? Who else we got up in here?
I want to say one thing too. I'm kind of jealous of your truck.
Best truck
that
I've
truck
seen.
wrap is clean. It is the cleanest looking wrap besides America Junk Boss. I think your 2 wraps are the best wraps for sure.
Yep.
So go check out America Junk Boss. Their wrap on their dump truck is badass too. But I'd say you guys are like tied up. Like when you came through with that, I was like, holy shit. I said, JoJo.
You're seeing that.
You're seeing that.
You're not on the road not seeing that.
I gotta say, it's been amazing. Everywhere I go, people are saying things, and you know, everybody's turning their heads when I'm driving around. Because I gotta admit, you know, some days I just go pick up the truck and I go cruising around the area and just kind of meeting everybody and networking. And I almost feel like I get the same attention that I got in the Lambo back in the day. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is pretty crazy. I didn't think a wrap would do so much, but it really does. And another plug is Monarch Trucks down in San Jose. Guys, if you want to get yourself a nice new NPR dump truck, you know, if you're in business for a while and you know this is something that you're going to stick with and all, I definitely encourage you to get over there and speak with Bob Padilla. He is the man. He hooked us all up. He hooked up Sonoma Strong, and I actually contacted Bob and I said I wanted the exact way Sonoma Strong did it. You know, I've been watching all their videos and all that, so he definitely showed me the same custom and and he does with the lift gate and the electric tarp and the toolbox. He just makes it perfect for junk removal. So shout out to Bob. And if you are in North Cal and you want to get it wrapped and all, I got the spot. Just hit me up. I could connect you with them as well. I want to introduce, we got Andrew Thompson backstage. I want to bring him on now. I still got a bunch of questions for you, but we're going to just bring in Andrew and we're going to ask the same questions and kind of get a perspective from both of you guys. So here we go. There he is. Young Jedi in the house. Andrew Thompson, what is up, brother? How are you today, man?
Dude, what is going on? What's up, Matt and JoJo?
How you doing, man? What's up, man? My long lost brother. What's going on?
You like that spike in viewers right there? Forget about it.
Oh, I love it, bro. I love it. What was that? You? That got us going on yours too.
I blasted my community saying I'm going live, so they jumped. I just went and sent a message to my Discord channel and text and stuff. Sent out a little text message and got some viewers last minute for us.
I really appreciate that, bro, for sure. And
a little more tech savvy than we are over here. We would have done the same thing.
This is the tech whiz over here. We got the autopilot mastermind over here, which everybody on here is investors, so we all got skin in the game with him. And definitely I could see once I met Andrew, I was like, this dude's doing it big, man. He's got some big aspirations, and coming out with this whole autopilot software is just, I think it's going to be a game changer down the line and all. And we got Andy Henderson. He says, what's up, guys? It's Andy and Candy with Junk B, gone out of Springfield, Missouri.
Andy and Candy. I love it.
We just finished our first 28,500 property cleanup.
Damn.
We was able to purchase our first brand new dump trailer afterwards. Wow. Nice. Very impressive, Andy. That is great news to hear that. Love to hear other people doing great things.
You got to love when you get those big jobs.
Oh, yeah. And Mood 22, old dogs learn new tricks from the new crew. Never be set in your ways. Yes, bro. That is that is one of the first things that I've learned in business. There's always somebody that's doing it bigger and better that you could learn from. You should always put the ego away. Never think you know it all. No matter how long you've been in any industry, you could always learn. And a great example from that is, I've always been a bodybuilder. I've been a fitness model. I've did 25 years of that. I've traveled the world, went under the best coaches and, learned so much stuff. But I'm that guy that's still, I talk with everybody and I'm taking tips from guys that are only 2 years in. If I see them making success or they figured out something, I'm learning. I'm not saying, I've been doing this 25 years. I know better than everybody. You got to be open. You got to constantly keep learning. That's how you get better. And there's no one set way. So I really encourage everybody just to always constantly learning from other people in the industry, especially we got these guys right here, both very, very successful. They've figured things out in their own ways, and they went two different complete routes at things. So Andrew, reason why I got you on here with Sonoma Strong and all is because you kind of went about things in a different way in growing your junk removal business. So what is some tips like that you encompassed in your journey in growing your business? And obviously it was very successful. I mean, you had it for a little over 2 years and you got to sell it, and now you're working 100% on your software. So kind of give us your whole thing about becoming successful.
Something I do want to mention though before I jump into that is there's some people out there, real quick, I just want to backtrack to me selling my business. There's a few people out there, not pointing any fingers to people who have been in business for 17 years. No, I'm just kidding. Me and Ricardo are really good friends, but a lot of people, including Ricardo, they always are like, these people who sell their businesses are liars. What's really happening is they just went out of business, right? And Ricardo's probably partly correct on that part when people quote sell their business. I've showed all the paperwork, all that stuff, but I just interviewed him. It's been almost a year. Next month would make 1 year. So I interviewed him 2 days ago. So I'm really excited to put that up and see the progress. You guys get to see the progress he's done. I interviewed the buyer. So I'm really excited to upload that interview so Ricardo can see because Ricardo in one of his videos, he's like, all these people sell their business. Why don't you ever show the new buyer? Buyers don't usually want to be publicly blasted for buying a company. You know, they don't want their name out there when they buy a company. But I got this guy to agree to it, and it's going to be an awesome interview. And I was excited. I was a little nervous too because I had to ask him the question, like, do you regret buying the company? You know, like, are you happy with the purchase? So I'm really excited to finally upload this video because I really did sell my company. And so, Ricardo, the video's coming.
Well, I got to ask you this because Jeffrey Landon just said, he goes, CRMs are only for big businesses like Walmart and Apple. Andrew, what do you got to say to that, bro?
Oh, Jeffrey's being funny. That's something Ricardo said on his channel. He's mocking Ricardo.
Oh, okay. I was just one of the.
No, that's something Ricardo said because Ricardo says some funny stuff. But the thing is actually Ricardo backs my CRM in one of his other videos. He's like, if you're going to get a CRM, use Andrews. He's like, don't use Workies. They're too expensive. Don't use House Call Pro. He backed me in his own way. His way of backing, you know. So
I actually seen that video, and you know, he was saying about how, you know, he was asking you how much you were going to charge, and when you came out with that whole $50, you kind of sold Ricardo on that, and considering you know all the other CRM companies, they're asking 150 plus, and you know,
250, yeah, 150 to 350.
Wow,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
So how do you feel like, is that something that you feel you should start off with, is getting a good CRM to work with?
Yes, but sorry. Did you want me to go back and answer your first question about the whole, like, how did I get started with Google Ad? I think was your
Exactly.
original question.
Yeah, I want to know, your way to finding success, you know, because we heard that with Matt and JoJo, it was more of an organic way of going at things, and I was kind of telling everybody that you're more of a digital marketing guy, and you take that strength and you kind of applied that to Jedi Junk.
So I ran a fitness app prior to this, Paul. I had an app that had workout programs from bodybuilders, people who you know, I was into bodybuilding, so I had a fitness app. I was never as big as you, but maybe a little bit bigger, you know, something like that.
A little bit bigger.
You know, no, but I had a fitness app, and so I've been doing software my entire life, and I had to do all the digital marketing. You know, I ran Google ads, I ran Facebook ads, I did all the ads for all of my previous startups and apps that websites and anything I've done in the past my entire life. So when it came to me getting into junk removal, because I needed money now, I was in a situation where COVID destroyed everything, which probably for a lot of people. And one of my friends was like, Andrew, go pick up trash. And he's like, if you can just put your ego to the side, that you're not some software engineer millionaire, you know, that you're like, and you're willing to do that. He's like, you can make $1,000 a day. So that's what I did. And he told me that he successfully had a trash business prior to telling me, but he burned his to the ground. This dude, he just destroyed his company. He man, I've got some stories. He lost one of his dump trucks. He lost it. He lost his $30,000 dump truck, lost it. And when I say he lost it, I mean, he woke up the next morning and he called me. He's like, Andrew, I don't remember where I parked it, and it's gone. He can't find it. So he has some crazy fucking stories. And he was a really good friend of mine. I wasn't close with him because he had problems, as you can tell, and he actually passed away from his problems. So God bless his soul. That was a rough moment for me, but he's got some crazy stories. And he was like, Andrew, all I did was I ran Google ads. And we're talking 4 or 5 years ago, right? When I first heard about this business. And then I started mine 3 years ago. So he was always telling me, you know, I always heard this. And then it wasn't until my app failed because of COVID, because it was a travel app I was working on. You know, after the fitness app, I moved to the travel app. And he was like, dude, all you got to do is run Google ads. I've ran Google ads. I know the game. And all I had to do was learn what keywords are not good and, you know, just learn the space, you know, learn the industry. And as soon as I started getting into junk removal, I started to understand, okay, trash is a bad keyword, dump and land. Like, I learned how the industry works, and I knew exactly what kind of Google ads to run and how to make the landing page. And just doing research. So I went hardcore on Google Ads, like hardcore. And it's a dangerous game to do Google Ads, especially now because it's even more competitive. But I went from spending $100 a day to within a month of running Google Ads at $100 a day, $200 a day. I was like, you know what? I'm cranking it to 500 a day. So I went to 500 a day, spending money on ads every day, hoping I'd get enough jobs and closing enough phone calls to make at least $500 a day, right? I'd have to like at least break even on the ads. And it started happening. And I was spending $500 a day in that one location. I was like, you know what? Let's launch another location. This is going perfect. Let's just go to LA and launch my second location. Went to LA. The LA location was definitely, we had some hiccups. It was definitely a little more challenging with the Los Angeles location versus Ventura, where I was living, which is a different county, about an hour and a half away from the new location. That one was a little more challenging to start. I was spending $500 to $1,000 a day on the second location. So, you know, I'm spending that much money praying to God that I would get the return back. And ultimately it worked. I spent $250,000, about $300,000 on ads that first year and brought in 1.1 million. Now, that's a lot of advertising costs. That's excessive, but I still made money. And I eventually got myself off the truck, got myself off the phones. The business pretty much ran itself, but I have heavy ad expenses, like very heavy, but I still made money.
Let me ask you this, Andrew. It had to be nerve-wracking at the beginning, like that first couple months, you know, dropping $500 a day. Like, what did you come in capital-wise into this business? Were you sitting on a nice chunk of change that you can do that?
$4,000 a day. So here's the thing. The city that I was living, I came in at $4,000. The city that I was living in, I was converting like fire. When I was spending $100, $200 a day, I was getting back 600, 800, 1,000. I was closing every phone call. I'm good. I feel like I'm pretty good on the phones. Like I'm like, hey Stacy, of course I could help you. No problem. Like I'm really friendly on the phone. I was closing. I'm probably like mad on the phone. We can close. I can sell snow to a penguin, right?
So can he.
And Matt could probably sell snow to a penguin. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty good on the phones, and I think that's just. I was just, even without sales experience, I feel like I remember one guy, he was one of my first customers, and I surveyed him. You know, my first 20 customers, I didn't even research this. This is just me just doing this because I think I just my natural, just being in business. I surveyed my customers and I was like, hey man, you know, why did you decide to hire me? You know, like, did you have a good experience? I surveyed my customers, you know, and I just did it. And he was like, I hired you because you were the nicest on the phone. And I just remember that just stuck with me because I am so nice on the phone. I was always so nice. Even when they're like, I'm going to call my husband and wife. And I was be like, I would always have like some saying, because I would never try to like force them when they're like, I got to talk to my wife. I hate those people who try to handle those objections a little like, do you really need to talk to your? So I would always be like, hey, you go talk to your wife. And I just want to remind you that we're local, we're family owned. And Bob, as soon as you talk to your wife, I would love to be the one to help you. I'll work with you. Please just call me back. You know, we are the Jedis over here. So we're going to get that trash handled way better than anybody else. But if you do get a better price, Bob, you know, when you talk to your wife or you go shop it around, Bob, please call me back. I'd love to be the one to help you. That was my way of handling objections, right? I wouldn't like force Bob, why do you need to talk to your wife? So I feel like I was really good on the phone. So I was closing really good with my Google ads in the beginning in the city that I was in. But I will say, like I was closing. That's why I cranked it to 500, because I was profiting like crazy. When I cranked it to 500, I was profiting. Like I rarely ever had a day where I lost money. Every day I was making money. But when I got to LA, that is a fucking different story. LA beat me up the first 2 months. I was actually pretty worried. But we'll save that for later.
Now, let me ask you, bro, when you were doing all these Google ads and all, were you also concentrating on the organic growth? I mean, yard signs and word of mouth around town. Were you doing
No,
anything like that?
just reviews. So just reviews. I was killing it with reviews. Because
What do you mean with reviews? So jobs that you did, you were just making sure to close the deal, make sure they
I
put in
had a
5-star
CRM
reviews.
from pretty much day one. So that automatic text message that goes out and says, "Hey, it would really mean a lot to us if you can give us a review. We're a small local family-owned business. If you leave a review, it'd mean a lot." That's what my text said. It was like that. It wasn't just like, if you had a good experience, leave a review. It was, "Hey, thank you so much. I hope you had a good experience. We're a small local family-owned business. If you could leave a review, it would mean a lot to me." And I'd have a smiley face. I always put smiley faces because I think it makes the text message feel more like human. And I cranked. I remember. I think I hit a record. I had 500 reviews in the first. I think by like a year or so, a year and a half. It was crazy. I made a post on the Facebook groups, but I hit 500 reviews fast. When I sold the company at 2 years, it was 800 reviews in 2 years when I sold the company
That's really
across two
good.
locations, 800 reviews. So that was the only thing I did, man. I did a little SEO, and I did crank my SEO, but not initially. It was all Google ads, and I did do Thumbtack. In the beginning, but I just went ham on Google ads.
So you guys in the chat, you guys are hearing this. We just heard two different ways of approaching your business and starting it off, and both of them are very successful in both their own ways. So, so that's showing right there that there's not just one route to success in this industry. So it's kind of find your niche, what makes you more comfortable, and kind of go with that, or maybe incorporate everything and try doing everything. But Jeffrey Landon has a funny thing that he said right here. He goes, you all need to start introducing this man correctly. Future billionaire, boy genius, Andrew Thompson.
Oh,
I'm sorry I should introduce you like that. Future billionaire,
thanks,
bro.
Jeff. Thanks, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's an investor too. So
Very
thanks. I
nice.
appreciate it. Jeffrey.
So Jeffrey's also going to be in the bandwagon of us. If Autopilot
Yep.
does not come success, we're all coming looking for Andrew Thompson
Yep.
together, bro. So yeah, let's
Exactly.
exchange phone numbers, Jeffrey, after this, bro.
Yeah. I
So
appreciate it.
Matt and JoJo, I want to ask you guys. So I know at the beginning you guys weren't really into the whole CRM, and I remember from the junk removal expo that you were saying that the first couple of years you didn't keep a list of all your clients and all that. So when did you guys start doing the list, and do you guys do SMS campaigns as far as sending out to clients that you already have?
So we started using the CRM through Workies, I would say 3 years ago. We just switched over to Autopilot. We are an investor too. We haven't text blast no one yet. Been staying busy other ways, but we got all that information in there. So when it does slow down, we can text blast everyone. For the first 2 years, we didn't have no CRM, and Workies kept pushing us to use their software. And I was like, no, I don't need to use that. I'm going to do it the way I'm doing it. Because sometimes you feel uncomfortable doing something you don't know how to do. So that was the issue. I didn't want to have to learn how to do something. So I was like, you know what? I don't need that. But once I learned how to use it, it was a game changer for sure.
So can I ask you guys, what did you guys like when you started doing the text blasts and all that? How much of a percentage of your business did it increase?
See, we haven't done no text blast yet, not once.
Yeah, we
Oh,
haven't.
wow.
So
Yeah,
once
so you're gonna make a lot of money on your first text blast since you haven't been like, but yeah, save it for when you're slow. Like, hey, we're around the corner. It's winter special. We're in the area.
So that's one thing I wish we would have done from the very gate was have a CRM for sure.
Oh yeah.
How many people would you say you have in your client logbook now?
I would say around 2,000 people probably. And we would have had around probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
So I got to ask Andrew this. So if they have 2,000 people in their book right now and they sent out a mass text, what do you think they would get? How many jobs do you think they would close on those 2,000 people? Give a rough estimate of your experience.
In the first day, probably the first 1 or 2 days, I'd say 20 people in the first 2 days. at an average job size of probably like $500. So they probably make 10 grand in the first 2 days. But then you have the stragglers that come along throughout the next 2 weeks, right? So off one text blast of 2,000 people, I'd say anywhere from 10 grand, minimum 5 grand to $20,000-$30,000 over the course of 2 weeks.
Wow, that is
So
amazing, and
yeah,
that
because
is something
you remember,
every business could use.
and you remember, junk removal is not always on top of mind for these people. Like they might have collected some more stuff and just haven't thought about getting rid of it yet. But if you're like, hey, it's Matt and JoJo, or hey, it's Matt from Sonoma Strong, we're in the area, we're running a 5% special. Yeah, it's so powerful. It's the easiest thing in the world to lock in like another 10, 20, 30 grand. Now, if he had his 5,000 contacts, from the beginning, double, triple that. That's why it's so powerful. And some people like to run quarterly offers. Some people like to just do it in the winter. So it's kind of like you do what you want to do.
Let your business tell you. Like, so if you're running
Yeah.
a little slow that week, then put out that mass text, and that'll definitely spark some new
Yep.
business in there. And I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. I'm loving it. I'm seeing a bunch of arm wrestlers tuning in here. I got their interest as well, so I appreciate you guys coming in here. And if you guys are already following these two channels, check out Andrew Thompson, which is Andrew Jedi. Go over there, make sure to click the subscribe button, and Sonoma Strong Holing and junk removal. Definitely get over there. They're the ones that actually, both of these guys, both channels were the ones that kind of brought me into this whole industry and showed me that this is something that I could definitely mess with. So thank you guys for all tuning in. Like I was saying before, since there's so many people in the chat, I'm going to be doing a giveaway right before the end of this with the lighting on here is messing with this. Leading with Purpose by Kevin Hess. I'm going to be, he autographed all the books and everything. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway by the end of this. And somebody's going to get to win their own free copy of that amazing book, which any entrepreneur is going to see value, not just in the junk removal industry. There's just, so much great info in here that anybody could learn from. Also want to shout out a couple people in here. We got Around Town Junk Removal in the house. We got my man
Around Town Junk Removal.
Hell
Garrett,
yeah.
what's up, my man?
We got Junk 180 in the house. We got My Choice Shipping. What's up, guys? Thank you.
Junk
Appreciate
180.
you tuning in here.
What's up, my man?
So
And
I want to say
recognize-
one thing too. I want to say one thing about autopilot is if you do choose to use that software, the cool thing is if right now it's in beta testing, if you don't like something, guess what? You can call Andrew up. Hey, Andrew, can you change this? Can you do this? And he makes changes super fast. Like,
yeah,
the software's gonna be off the damn hook when it's said and done.
yeah, one of the things that I utilized right away was, I'm not even up and running, but I wanted to kind of set myself up as far as marketing and knowing where my best value is going in. And that was with the tracking numbers. I had Andrew on here and he was telling about tracking numbers, and I'm like, my head started spinning. I'm like, tracking numbers? What the hell is he talking about? And then, he started going into it, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's a great idea. So I know exactly what is working for me and what is not. And the first thing that I wanted to do was on my truck logo, because when I was getting it wrapped, I had a couple of people on there that like, oh, it's too much stuff on there. And, you're not going to, it's simple is better. And I'm just like, I kind of want to break necks. I want people to really notice me when I'm going down the block and all. So I said, you know what? A tracking number will tell me all the info I need to know. So I know if it was a smart idea end of day. So I hit up Andrew and I'm like, yo, bro, how do I get these tracking numbers? And he's like, autopilot, comes with 5 tracking numbers when you come a member. And he's like, why don't you try out the beta testing? So we got into conversation and all. And next thing I was like, I really believe in this dude. I mean, I see the drive he's got. He doesn't stop. He's really pushing it hard. He has experience in the junk removal business. He had his business. He sold it after a couple of years, did very well with that. So I'm like, you know what? I believe in this guy. I'm going to invest in this. So rather than paying for the $50 beta, I just went and I did the investment. And, right away, the first thing 5 minutes I got, I got into autopilot, and I was like, oh, wow, this is real easy. It's nothing hard. It's not confusing at all. It's pretty straightforward and everything. I was like, oh, let me go and get my tracking number. So I went right there. Boom. Within 2 minutes, I had 5 tracking numbers. So the first thing I did is I called over to the wrap place and I said, yo, I want to have this phone number on my truck, and it's only going to be on my truck. Now, all 5 of these tracking numbers all go back to my business number. So, they're all connected. And at first I thought that was the worst idea. I was like, I want everybody to know my brand with this phone number, but people really don't care about the phone number. You know what I mean? It really means nothing to them. So I will know exactly in the first couple of months of business, how much business is coming just from the logo on my truck. And, I listen to these guys, and I'm going to go put up my truck up by Home Depot at certain hours of the day. And it's kind of like my moving billboard around. So I'll know exactly what's bringing in from that logo. I also did it on all my yard signs and my business cards. I have a separate number. So I know exactly what those are going to bring in. So now after a couple of months, I could go through all the research and all the analytics and all and be like, all right, this brought me in this brought me in that. So rather than saying, what actually works, the numbers are going to tell me exactly what is working. And then once I know that, now I could go and invest more in those aspects of it. So that is one of the great things of autopilot, and something that I learned, from Andrew Thompson. And, I think it was just an amazing idea to do. And I encourage anybody that's starting off their business, definitely something to get, just alone, just to have those tracking numbers is priceless. So definitely something to check out in there.
Matt, can I ask Matt and JoJo a question?
Sure.
Yo, did you get your yard signs yet with the call tracking numbers?
You know what? I got the yard signs in the garage. We put a couple out today, but we got to hit it hard one day and put them all.
But it is with the call tracking numbers?
Yes, with the call tracking numbers. It was all good.
Real quick, what I want to say about call tracking numbers is I had 8 employees at my peak with the 2 trucks, 2 locations, 2 completely separate locations running 7 days a week because we have dumps open on Sunday out here in LA. So I had all my employees on downtime putting out door hangers and yard signs, right? I decided to do call tracking numbers on the door hangers and call tracking numbers on the yard signs. After putting out 1,000 door hangers, and I think at that point we were like maybe 300, 500 yard signs. I forget how many, but we did 1,000 door hangers and however many yard signs. I was able to see how many phone calls we got from each of those. The results from door hangers were garbage compared to yard signs. So I redirected all of their energy to yard signs only. And you would never have known. Never would you have known. Now that's just where I was in LA. Door hangers could be more effective where you guys are. So don't just listen to what I'm saying and take this as like, oh, door hangers suck. Okay. I still do door hangers after jobs because you're already there. So only after jobs do I put out 10 door hangers. But if I never would have known that, I would have just kept wasting hours of employees' time, costing me money on door hangers when the ROI on yard signs was 50x. Like the ROI was so much higher with yard signs. So I just wanted to mention that about yard signs.
Matt and JoJo, so when you made the yard signs, did you brand them, or are you doing bandit signs?
So pretty much I've done every single kind of sign out there. So one sign you want to stay away from is those small ones like this that are long like this.
Skinny.
Yeah. Those will just flop in the wind. They're garbage. You get like 100 of them for like $99. I was so cheap and broke back in the day. I got the cheapest ones. Those ones suck. I get the best ones I would say are the yellow and black ones with just junk removal on them. People see the yellow and black, they see junk removal, and I noticed that my competitors don't take them down as much. When I had the branded ones up, people hate us out here. They just want to just take them all down.
Do you get phone calls from like the local sheriffs or anything like that? Because that is the one thing that I'm a little nervous about is just putting out these signs everywhere. And, I took Andrew's advice and I ordered the bandit signs with a tracking number on there. This way, if they call, I'm just going to answer junk removal and not actually say the business name. So I don't got to worry about a sheriff showing up at my door. But what is your experience as far as that?
So I've had people call me up, cuss me out, yell at me. I had code enforcement call me up one time saying, "Hey, you need to take your signs down. You're out here in Hillsburg, California. We're going to fine you for each sign. What is your name?" I said, "I don't know who the hell you are. You call from a block number." And I hear like the cop siren thing or the little static thing in the background. I'm like, "Oh shit. I gotta grab my signs."
Dispatch.
It was a little dispatch. Like, I gotta grab my signs. So just be aware, you will get people calling you up, talking trash, emailing you saying you're making our neighborhoods look trashy. You can't do this, can't do that. But you will make money off the signs. I guarantee it. I promise you that. And some people will just want to take your signs down. Certain areas, like people pay people to take signs down. So I don't know how it is in Marin. But out here in Sonoma County, me and Julio done put up like 50 signs one day. We're like, oh yeah, we done blasted that area up over there. Showed up the next day. Guess what? They're all gone. I had a competitor actually send me a picture of my sign with his sign around it. I was like,
Well, you get people like Ricardo taking your signs down too.
I would say that's the most dirtbag move you can do is take someone's signs down.
Do you remember that post that Ricardo made where he took the signs down?
Nah.
No, dude, it went viral. Ricardo, if you're watching this, I love you. But Ricardo, we all know Ricardo likes to troll people. Dude, he started some drama. He posted in the Facebook groups. He took some signs down, the stand-up guy signs. You didn't see that?
No.
Oh man, that was a field day. Jeffrey,
was it for real, or was he just posting it?
Oh no, he took him down. He pulled a pretty jerk move. He took him down. He took him down, and I called him out on it. I was like, "Dude, you can't do that." He was like, "I just wanted to start some drama on the Facebook groups." Dude, he started some. Ricardo's a character.
Yeah, he definitely is. I get
what I'm saying is, don't take people's signs down, and you are going to get calls. And Matt, would you agree with me? Immediately, like if you just say junk removal, immediately because they can't seem to hold themselves back when they're angry. Like you're littering, within seconds, and then you just go click.
No, we get it all the time. I get people hitting us up saying you can't park your trailers in our area. I'm thinking in my head, we ain't got no trailers. We're the wrong company. Just because we're rank on Google, you think those are our trailers or not? So it's just crazy.
Do you still have your trailer, like your truck and trailer?
No, we sold it.
Oh, so you got rid of it?
So check it out. What happened was they be hating on us out here. Real talk. Like one person was taking our signs down, and then someone else took my pin out my trailer. So I was on the freeway, going down the freeway, and my trailer popped off on the freeway. The hitch was still connected to the trailer, so they pulled that pin out.
What?
There ain't no way you can pull it out unless you take that piece off. So someone pulled it off, and it was I was hitting the brakes. It's all just rubbing against the back of my truck and shit. I had to pull over. I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I put a lock on it, and then I got rid of it and just bought another dump truck.
That is next level. Yeah. So we got a question from Around Town Junk Removal. He says you should have a feature to import phone contacts directly into autopilot. Is that's something that you could get incorporated?
Yeah, that's honestly that is in the pipeline. We have a lot of things we're working on right now. A lot of stuff is coming. All the marketing tools are finally coming next week. We're dropping the sequences, but that is in the pipeline. It's not high priority because not many people care to import their phone contacts list. They normally have like contacts from a different CRM, like Jobber, House Call Pro, Workies. Not many people have like a giant client list in their personal cell phone where they want to import their personal cell phone contacts. I've only had one person out of like 450 people make that request. Garrett and Megan with Around Town, you're now the second person to request that. So that is something we'll eventually do, but not many people save their contacts, into their personal cell phone where they've requested to import it. But it is coming. I just don't know when. We will have it. We're working on our phone system right now with AI stuff. Oh my God, you guys are going to love it. It's been a pain in the ass, but call recordings, call transcriptions. It's going to use OpenAI and ChatGPT to like transcribe and pull out the data and then help you book it. It's going to be backup AI agents, with voice AI. Oh man, you guys are going to lose It's wild stuff that we're working on right now.
And with the autopilot, do you have it where you could set up the SMS mass texting and all? Do you have that
Yep.
already?
Yep. That comes out next week.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So mass text, mass email, and sequences, more importantly. Sequences is going to be, dude, okay, so I can talk about sequences forever, but imagine all of the phone calls that you are price shoppers, Matt and JoJo. 50%, price shopping, and we'll call you back, and blah, blah, blah. And the other 50% become actual customers. You book them. But the other 50% are what we call leads. They're shopping around, right? So you would put them in the leads section, and then you'd set up a sequence that texts them tomorrow. Hey, this is Matt. Just checking if you ended up finding somebody, or if you still need us. And if they don't respond, it texts them again 3 days later. Hey, this is Matt with Sonoma Strong. Just checking in. I'll give you 10% off. And then it texts them again 7 days, and it breaks the cycle once they respond. So it'll follow up with all of your leads. So imagine every phone contact that you put into your system, every lead that you don't close, it automatically follows up with them for 2 weeks. Right?
So it automatically does it?
Automatic. As long as you save the lead into your system, it'll automatically follow up and say, hey, it's Matt. We spoke on the phone the other day, just following up to see if you wanted to, if you found somebody, we'd love to help you. And then it follows up 3 days later until they respond and say, leave me alone or I'm interested. So these are the power of sequences. And then you can do the same thing, sequences with clients. It follows up 30 days later. Thank you for using us. Here's something. 90 days later, do you need anything done? It can do email, text, and then 180 days later, it sends them a postcard. And then you get the idea. These sequences can go in perpetuity forever. So that's very powerful shit coming out next week.
Oh, that's
very
next week?
powerful.
You said that's next week is coming out?
Next week, yeah. And I'm going to be doing a training video on it because it's so powerful. I'm going to record a video on how to build out sequences. It's going to be awesome.
So I'll make sure I make a video on my first text blast and let people know how it works out.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. That'll be sure.
Good. Yeah. And hey, wintertime's right around the corner, so you're probably going to want to do one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm loving that you're doing everything in the next week, bro, because time January comes about, when I'm about to be up and running, everything's going to be nice and smooth and running. So I'm very excited to hear about all this stuff.
We got a lot of good news too. We're trying to get a new engineer. We have a new big investor who came in. He's probably going to be making an announcement soon. He came in for it's my first 6-figure investor. So we got a pretty big investor. So we got some plans. Shit's about to get crazy, guys. I'm going to turn this into a $1 billion company. I promise you that, because we're taking down Jobber. If Jobber can be worth $5 billion, boy, are they in trouble, because I haven't even begun. Like, we're just getting started.
Very nice. Andy Henderson says, I started using Google guaranteed local service ads in June of this year, plus yard signs. I went from working 3 days a week to 6 days a week. Very cool, Andy, to hear
that. Right on, Andy. That's awesome.
And then Junk 180 says, a quick Google search on exporting phone contacts. It looks like, yes, you're able to export phone contacts to a CSV file. That's what AP uses to import client list.
Junk 180, Junk 180. Yes, you're right. You can do that. And we're actually, Junk, I know you have a giant list you're importing. We're making some changes where you can import a giant list. It's just Google's very costly. But anyways, we don't need to get into details. But to answer your question, Junk 180, no, you cannot import phone contacts. Not yet. That hasn't been a priority. But, if it is, if we get enough people requesting it, we'll add it. We have so many things in the pipeline, from marketing tools to the phone call system to asset tracking to dumpster rentals to credit card on file to reoccurring jobs and multi-day jobs. I mean, we have so many awesome features in the pipeline. It's just we have to always prioritize what feature goes next. It's really tough until we get a team of engineers and we raise $100 million.
So I got one request, because I know there's a lot of junk haulers that do scrapping too. Maybe on the app, if there's a spot where people can punch in how much money they scrapped that month to keep track for the whole year. I think that would be kind of cool feature.
So that's actually so that would go under COGS. We're working on COGS. So where you can kind of like put in what your fuel costs were, what you made from scrap, stuff like that, right?
Very
But
nice.
yeah, that would be cool for sure.
We got a
We are
question from Eric Coulter, and he says, how many yard signs do you guys average putting out per month? I just started with signs and got my first job today. So let's start off with Matt and JoJo. How many would you say you guys put on an average per month?
Per month, not a whole lot. Today was the first time we put any signs out. We had a little bit of time, so we put 3 signs out, but we're in between jobs. But normally, if it slows down, I'll try to put as many out as possible. I'll order at least 100 to 300 signs and put at least try to do 50 one day, and then maybe wait a couple of weeks when they get taken down and do another 50. But we don't do a whole lot. Most of our business comes from Facebook and Google My Business and repeat customers.
Where do you focus on putting them? Do you have like a strategy of where you put them out?
So I'll try to put them on telephone poles a little bit higher up and really where there's stop signs, busy intersections. You don't want to put them just on a road where people are going like 25 miles an hour. You want to be where they're stopping and they can look for a second, snap a picture, and then keep going. So busy intersections, by the graveyards, by Walmarts, Home Depots, anywhere you think people are going to stop for a second and take a peek.
Now, are you doing this in your company truck, or are you going to go in low key when you're doing this? Like, what's the energy at when you're going putting them out? Do you feel like you're doing something wrong right now, or not really?
We don't give a fuck. We'll hop out in the work truck. We'll hop out in the hoopty. We'll hop out in the truck. It don't matter. At first, it's like, oh gosh, people are looking at us putting up signs. Now I just don't. You mean?
Yeah,
it's all good. We just gonna hop out and do it.
yeah.
If you're new to it and you haven't never done it before, I would do a quick online search of the busiest streets, roads in your area, and you'll find that online. So it's really good. You want to put signs where it's busy, where there's lots of people, lots of traffic, schools, and yeah.
I like Local Junker's comment. He goes, investor meeting in Cancun this summer, Andrew.
Yeah, just
All
so
on
you know,
Andrew. Come
local,
on, man. You better be a billionaire. You can bring everybody along.
Do you know who Local Junkers is, Paul?
No, I don't.
That's John Aguirre.
Oh,
Okay.
very nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, so John, yeah. If Cancun this summer, we'll see. Okay, yeah, if I make a few $1,000,000, sure, because that would be an expensive ass trip if I'm flying all the investors out. But because this summer's pretty fast. Maybe not this summer, but the following summer. Oh, it's on. We're gonna do an employee and investors Cancun trip. Take the employees out, like an employee rapport, team building. Take all the employees to whatever country. Maybe bring some of the investors as well. That'd be pretty cool for sure.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So I want to kind of change tracks now, and I want to get into some other topics and all. But first, to everybody in the chat, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and some great questions out there. If you guys haven't already, just click that thumbs up button. It helps me get in the algorithm. And by some chance, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate you clicking the subscribe button. Going to have tons of interviews coming along the way, and also my day one starting off in January. I'm going to be documenting being on the truck and kind of everything that I'm going through to start it off with, as far as getting my yard to keep the trucks in, getting my office space, which I just did. And, I made a few videos. I haven't put them out there. I feel like it'll be a little better once I get more close to launch time and all. So definitely click on all that. And also I was wanted to brainstorm with you guys and wanted to ask your guys' opinion on this. In the arm wrestling world, so for those guys that don't know, I've been in the arm wrestling world for like 4 or 5 years, and I really got out there, got worldwide known, and I had a podcast that went on weekly, and we also did like a community hangout. And what we do is we put the link in the chat for everybody to join. So anybody, like if you guys are in the chat right now, you could just click the link, come on and kind of just kick it with us, and we'd have like 9-10 people on at a time. And I was thinking about doing this in the junk removal industry, and kind of pick one day at a weekend, maybe one of the Saturday or Sunday night when everybody's home and not working and all, and kind of just a place for everybody in the community to come hang out and just talk junk removal or anything, any topics that you guys want to bring up, kind of just making the community tighter and all, and also a good way just to throw some ideas around and tips and all that. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that a show like that on a weekly podcast would be something that would interest the community? What's your thoughts on that, Matt and JoJo?
No, I think it would be super cool for people just to hop on and talk trash and get to really hang out with us. Would be super cool. I'd definitely hop on for sure.
Hell yeah. What about Andrew? Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Oh yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
I think it'd be awesome.
That's like a great networking opportunity. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe like Saturday or Sunday night. I might give it a shot maybe next weekend and all. I know we know Sunday nights we got football and all, so it would have to be either after that or maybe even like a Saturday night might be a good time. What day do you guys think would be like the best for the majority of the community and all?
I would say either Tuesday. Tuesdays are probably good nights. No football going on or nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah. Andrew, you agree with that?
Yeah. So Wednesdays nights, Wednesdays for the next 7 months, I'm tied up. So Tuesdays works.
Okay. And what time are you thinking? Like 8, 9 p.m. Pacific time? Should we do it earlier? Like what do you think? This way it works for both coasts because I know we got a lot of guys on the East Coast coming on here as well.
I would say 5 p.m. Pacific time for sure. Cali time.
Okay, so that would be like 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, yeah, that's I'm gonna check my schedule and see what we could get going, and I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop. I'd love to have you guys part of that show for sure, 100%. And so now I kind of just want to check. I'm gonna let you guys go soon, Matt and JoJo. I just got like 1 or 2 more questions I want to bring you guys in and all that I haven't got to. And
hey, Paul.
Yeah, what's up, Andrew?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
You got to go too.
I got to go too, only because my friend just got in from Dubai, and I got to go hang out with him.
You got to get out of the closet. You're hanging out in the closet too much. You're thinking you're weird and all that shit. I get it. I get it. All right, so give me 5 more minutes, guys. I'm just going to go into this one last topic, and then I'm going to do my book giveaway, and then we'll call it a day from there.
Let's do it.
What I really wanted to know is what made you guys get into YouTube? Like, how did you guys come across it and decide to build the channels? Let's start off with you, Andrew.
So I actually have always known there was opportunity on YouTube. And I struggled with what I was going to do. I actually have a previous YouTube journey that I did like probably for about 6 months. And I was always just like, what do I talk about? Do I give general business advice or what do I talk about? Do I talk about tech? And my channel was all over the place, right? It was all over the place. I couldn't find what I wanted to talk about. And then I got into junk removal. And then a year into junk removal, when I finally hit $1 million, I was like, you know what? This could be my breakthrough into YouTube because I always knew there was opportunity in YouTube. I tried vlogging and I did some pretty cool vlogs. I thought I tried doing the whole family vlog, my kid, I tried all of it. Right. And I struggled with what am I going to YouTube? And I know my next YouTube journey. I already know what my next YouTube journey is. And I'm really excited because I think that's going to be the one that gets me the 1 million subscribers and really is a breakthrough. Is meet my journey in tech of building $1 billion company because tech channels get millions of subscribers. Everybody's interested in tech, how to build software. And so I'm really excited about that next channel that I've started, but that's how I got started. One day I was like, wait, I'm killing it on junk removal. I'm watching all these other junk removal people. I love watching them. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just start my journey from YouTube of being a junk removal expert and teaching junk removal. I'll start my journey there and I can get to where I want to go. This junk removal channel that I've been doing for this whole thing for the last 3 years it's all been I have this ultimate vision of where I want to go, and junk removal was my stepping stone. And, thank God for junk removal. It literally saved my life. It changed me I was a completely different person before I actually went and did manual. I've never done something like this before. Completely changed. I was more cocky. Guys, you wouldn't even believe the person I was. I was driving a Maserati. I was wearing Gucci shoes. I was wearing a Louis Vuitton belt. It was, come on. It changed me for the better. Like, junk removal really changed me as a person. And yeah, that's how I got into YouTube, man. That's how I got into YouTube.
That's what I love about you, bro. We got like so much in common. I got a similar story and similar background and all. I know you went the tech way, but I was the same thing. I was never into manual labor, never really, worked with my hands and all. So this is definitely a new challenge for me and something new for me, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Matt and JoJo, same question for you guys. Like, what made you get into YouTube, and how has it changed your personal and business life?
Well, we started off YouTube we used it just because it was a free platform, because we had a budget of $0. So where can you create commercials for your business for free and put it out there? YouTube. So that's what, like, if you were to go way back, all it was, hey, this is Matt Vick with Sonoma Strong Holland. If you got trash, give us a call. That's the very first videos were that. And then, Matt kind of got into like recording. Well, let's just kind of record working and doing jobs and stuff. And then eventually it was like more how-to videos.
And then people started subscribing. I was like, what the hell? People were actually watching us, leaving comments. We had no idea.
Watch us like load junk.
And then we started having fun doing it. So I had people working with me. Like, I had my brother working with me. I had a dude named the Redneck working with me. I had another guy named Baby Jesus working with me. I had all kinds of people working with me. And we just had fun. We go out there driving around, drinking non-alcoholic beer, picking up trash, talking shit in the cab. That's what we were doing on a lot of the videos, you know what I mean? And we had to edit and cut a bunch of shit out because it wasn't good for the YouTube world, let's say. We were in there just acting the fool. And JoJo's like, you can't put that in there. You can't do that.
Speaking of cutting things out.
Oh, yeah, cut her ass out.
It was a very, very long time before I was in any of the videos. Matt literally would cut me out of all the videos.
And why was that?
Yeah, why was that?
Because she would start talking, and I was thinking like this, you know what? This is a man's world, picking up trash, picking up garbage. And she would say something, I just edited it out in the very beginning. I didn't know. People just love the JoJo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my fault,
It was a learning experience.
But it does open up so many doors. The YouTube world, when you start getting a bunch of subscribers, people hit you up all the time, try to either give you some free stuff to advertise on your channel, which we don't take a bunch of stuff because a lot of it don't fit our channel. But we started doing our coaching because of our YouTube channel. The junk expo would have never happened if it wasn't for the YouTube channel. So it really opens up a lot of doors, and it helps your SEO too with Google.
And we have met so many amazing.
Yeah, you never would have met me.
Yeah, so many people that we find very important in our life right now.
Yeah, never would have met you guys. Two people that I hang out with right now, I met off of YouTube. My one fishing buddy I go fishing with, it's because of YouTube. He hit me up like, hey, let's go fishing. Da, 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 da. I was like, kind of weird. You hitting me up wanting to go fishing. But
is he a junk hauler though?
He was a junk hauler, yeah.
Okay, I was like, okay, it'd be weird if he wasn't a junk hauler.
And then another guy, my other buddy hit me up, and now we go hunting all the time. So it's cool. You know what I mean? And I have some, you guys do the same thing. You guys own a business, and you're on the same page, trying to get money, trying to do this. So it opens up a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never met Andrew. I would have never been an investor. Never would have met you.
Yep, exactly. It definitely it opens so many doors, and I've did it in different industries, and I can't believe, like, just in arm wrestling alone, it connected me with people all over the world. And the other thing is, like, when I go and meet other celebrities at events, and we come in as the arm wrestlers, instead of them looking at us as like fans, or now they're looking at us as like a celebrity in our world, which at first it was like so weird and surreal to me. I'm like, I'm hanging out with like pro wrestlers and people that got millions and millions of followers, and they're looking at me like eye to eye, and we're on the same page, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is really crazy. And just the people that I've been around, and worldwide networking has just been amazing. So definitely something great. And as far as the SEO, that's another thing. It's just another added benefit of making so many YouTube videos and putting your brand name out there. I mean, it helps when you do a Google search, anything with as far as arm wrestling in my name, there's like 20, 30 pages of stuff of my content and pictures. And, it's just a really, really good look. So definitely something that, something that maybe new people want to get involved with from the beginning, kind of document their whole way through and everything. But now I want to I want to go in and start this book giveaway right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a number right now, and I'm going to keep it in between 1 and 100. And so first person to guess the number, you only get one entry. And so just put up in the chat, put up one number, and if it's the same number that I did.
What's the number between what's the range?
1 and 100.
1 and 100.
Yeah, and you guys are more than welcome to participate as well in there if you want to put down a number.
I've already got a copy. I'm gonna let somebody who needs it.
So I wanted to say one more thing too.
Oh, Denise Sparks in the house. What's up,
Denise?
We
got the queen of junk in the house. What's up, Denise?
So I want
Denise,
to say
we got to get you on.
About the YouTube thing is you're recording your whole journey. The whole journey you get to look back at, like where you used to stay at, the trucks you used to work on. It's just a journey of just having a YouTube channel and looking back how far you become, how far you came is just awesome.
Yeah, and to watch how you get better and evolve on the YouTube interviews and all that's another thing. When I look back at like some of my first videos, I just cringe and I'm like, oh my God, I thought that was so good then. And now I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my God, I've come a long way. Just even like my whole setup. And, over time I started building like a studio and all that. And now actually in my office that I just purchased for the junk removal business, I was like, you know what, I'm going to put a little studio in there. I just showed Matt and JoJo the sign I'm going to put up in there. I got to forget about it, junk removal, because if you see right back here, I got the arm wrestling buzz. Well, now I'm going to make a studio in my office over there, and this way I could go on live and do podcasts from there and all. Oh wow, junk on, junk off, just got it. Wow, that was good. I started thinking, I'm like, oh my God, 1 to 100. I don't know if anybody's gonna get this on the first try.
Did you get the number exact?
He nailed it exactly. So this is the number I wrote down.
Oh shit!
Yep, and he just nailed it.
He must have saw it somehow.
Yeah. So junk on, junk off. Hit me up on Facebook. Right on, dead on, and just so you guys know, 8 is one of my lucky numbers. I'm a craps player. I love going to casinos, and 8 is one of those numbers that I'm very successful with. So just a tip for the future. If I do another wrap off or anything with a number, it's usually like going to be an 8 or a 3. So but junk on, junk off. Hit me up on Forget About It Junk Removal on Facebook. Send me a message, and I'll get your mailing address, and I'll get that out on Monday for you guys. So you
Monacan, what's up? Oh, Banda de Kill Me On. What's up? What's up, Banda?
Yeah, Drew, you were so close. You said 7, bro. I was hoping you were going to get that too. Drew is one of my moderators on my Arm Wrestling Buzz podcast. He helps me out a lot with the Arm Wrestling World. Drew, definitely, bro. You're going to love these guys' channels. Drew is like the most connected guy. When anybody goes on live on anything in the arm wrestling world, he is the first one to know, and he goes and reports back on Discord and Reddit, and he brings everybody in there. So I know also Andrew's got his own Discord. So where can people find that as well?
You should it's probably easiest to explain just by going to one of my videos and going to the video description and clicking the Discord. That's probably the easiest way. But yeah, we have like 3,000 people in our Discord now. And I'd say probably, there's only like Discord's there's not all 3,000 active, but there's a lot of active people in there talking all the time.
Okay, and Junk On, Junk Off just said, I have a copy. So, I mean, bro, this is autographed, so you're more than welcome to take this, or if you want to give it away to somebody else, or, you're more than welcome. If you want to go that way, just, give me their info and their mailing address, and I could send it to them as well. And there's going to be a lot of these. I bought like a whole bunch of Kevin's books that day, and I had him autograph all of them. So I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways. I'm going to come up with different ideas to give them away, and I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways guys on my channel as far as, you know, getting new business as well. I'm going to also go to a lot of local restaurants and get some gift certificates for people to win nights out to dinner and all that kind of good stuff and all. So thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in today. I really appreciate all the support and everything. And I'm going to keep everybody posted. Like I said, I'm going to do a weekly show during the, well, I think we're going to keep it, you know, like a Monday or a Tuesday for everybody. And, you know, we'll probably do around like 5-6 p.m. Pacific time. And it's just going to be a community hangout, and everybody's welcome. Everybody will get the link. They could just come in the chat. If you don't want to come on, it's fine. Stay in the chat. You could talk with us through there, or you just click the link, come and join us. And, you know, I'm always going to try getting some of the top dogs to come hang out as well. This way we could kind of pick their brain. But it's not only going to be with junk removal. It's anything going on. You know, we just had recently the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul match. You know, we talk about that. Any big things going on in life, you're more than welcome to bring up and all that. I want to thank you guys both for coming on and giving me your time. I really, really appreciate. You guys are inspiration to me. I've been following your guys' channel from the beginning, and, you know, you guys help me out so many different ways I can't express. You know, practically Matt and JoJo are like my coaches. You know, one more thing. Can you please just run down real quick about your coaching program? You know, this is a great opportunity for anybody in the junk removal that's just getting in there, or if you want to just get your business better, definitely hit them up.
While they do that, I'm going to head out because I got to take my friend out.
Yeah,
he just got off the plane. But thank you so much. And Matt and JoJo, Paul, thank you for everything. Paul, thank you for investing. Matt and JoJo, Matt and JoJo is one of our first lead investors too. So thank you. And I hope you really, truly, actually, I know you guys love the software. We'll be in beta for only 2-3 more months tops. And this shit's going to be pristine. I promise you. And Paul, I'll see you soon, man.
Sounds good, brother. Have a great night, my man.
Anytime you're in LA, Paul, let me know.
Sounds good, bro. We'll definitely link up. Cool. So yes, tell me about this 6-week program you got, and give us all the details.
Yep. So you're right. It does last 6 weeks, and we have classes on Wednesdays. If you want more information, you can go to sonomastrongcoaching.com. And it will tell you everything you learn, because you learn everything in 6 weeks that it took us 6 years to learn. And we go over everything as far as branding, Google My Business, websites, how to be a better salesperson, pricing. It goes on
Facebook.
and on. Facebook. We actually delve really, really deep in Facebook, how to utilize social media to make you money, how to start reaching organically, which takes time, but you have to be really strategic with the things that you do. So it's a great class. We don't accept everybody. So a lot of people are like, you know, oh, they're doing a class, they're just trying to take your money. Nope, it's not a course. It's not something that anybody could buy and you just like watch videos and implement things, because it is very personal, and we only accept 10 students per class, and we don't pick people that are from the same area, because we don't want to teach people to compete with you. So we're very, very selective. We make sure that you're in a good area for junk removal. We make sure you have a good population. So we really take the time to look over your website and look at your Google business profile, look at your Facebook. You actually have to have those things to be part of the class, because we dive so deep in those things and how to utilize them and how to, you know, get an organic SEO reach out, that you definitely need those things. So only after we look through everything and decide you're a good fit do we choose people. So and we do have a few spots left, and we are starting our next round of classes in December really soon. So,
and then one thing we don't do is, I mean, we have a pretty big following on YouTube, so we don't put a bunch of information out there on YouTube that we do behind the scenes, because a lot of our competition in our area watches our channel. They watch us, they study us, they want to know exactly what we're doing. and they want to do the same exact stuff. So I can't put everything that we do out there. So there's a lot of behind the scene things that I do every single day to help us run a better business and have a business where we never had to pay for Google ads, how we do certain things on the daily, like my daily routines. When it slows down, what do we do? Just behind the scenes, we kind of motivate people too. And it's not going to help you unless you put in the work. So don't think, oh, if they pick me and my population is good and they're going to do some magic for me. No, you got to actually put in the work. We give you homework. You got to do.
We do give you homework. We give at the end of every week when we show like whatever that lesson was and we show examples, the homework is do this, and you need to do it. Like, and we've only had like maybe one student that was just like, we scratch our head like, why are they even taking this class? They're not taking any of our advice whatsoever. But we want people to take our advice. We want people to do their homework because we love it when people are done with the class. They're like, that was beyond my expectations. And I'm so glad I did it. Or I just landed a big job directly utilizing the tools that you have given me. Junk 180 says, I heard coaching clients get barbecues at the Vic house. We actually, the day following the Junk Expo, yeah, it was a little perk. Our people that went through our coaching class got to, come to our house for a barbecue. So it was a little extra.
And the cool thing is too, we have our own little private Facebook group where we all hop on. It's a private group, whoever's in our coaching classes, and we shoot stuff back and forth on there. And we really it's kind of like, once they take our classes, I kind of feel like they're family a little bit, because I talk to these people here and there all the time. Like, I'll check on them every once in a while. They'll call me up, see how things are doing. We build a bond. So it's not like we just take your cash and just, that's it. No, we actually care about the people we're picking. Like, we're not going to choose you if you don't fill out all the information right. If you can't fill the shit out, you ain't gonna be able to put in the work.
Yeah. So at sonomastrongcoaching.com, we do ask for you to answer certain questions, and it's basic. So you got to answer the basic questions to be able to like do the rest of the stuff that we're going to ask you to do in the class. So.
And I want to say this, guys. I got to know you guys, and the one thing I could vouch for is you guys are genuine people. You guys are not the people that are there trying to get in everybody's pocket and, kind of scheming people. And, I've had my experience over the last couple months with Matt and JoJo. Any question I have, I mean, they go more than overboard. I'll send a text message. Next thing, Matt's calling me on the phone and, giving me like 5 different ideas and all, and they really take this seriously, and they want to see you do good. They want to see you succeed. So just, I look at it as like a small investment that practically you can make back in the first week of utilizing their tools and learning. So it's not even an expensive course or anything, but the benefits you're going to get far outreach the cost of it. So I really, really strongly encourage, if you're new in here and you're trying to grow the business from the beginning, or if you've been in there for a couple of years and you're just not happy where your business is at, these are people that could really help you, and they're very genuine people. And I'm a very good at profiling people and seeing who's trying to get in your pockets. And I got to say, there is a lot of people in the junk removal industry that are kind of preying on people. They're just, they're all trying to offer these services. And sometimes I'm like, do you really need that? Do you really need to pay that much money and all? Well, these people are 100% really trying to help you out when you do this. So I strongly encourage you to do that. And, I even hit up Matt the other day, and I was like, yo, should I get in this program and all? He's like, yo, bro, he's like, we have that relationship already. He's like, you could just hit me up anytime. And that's what kind of guy he is, man. The way I was coming at it, I would have definitely signed up right away. And he's like, nah, man, you could just ask me anything. You already do. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for money. So that's their kind of character right there. That says it all in a nutshell right there. So I really, really encourage people to take them up on this offer. And if you're willing to put in the work, they're not just going to come in and take over your business and make it successful, but they will give you the right track and tell you what tools you need and what you need to be doing on a daily basis to be successful. So I definitely encourage that. And, you know, I'm definitely a fan of you guys and how genuine you guys really are. So,
Right on, right on.
keep doing what you guys are doing. Really appreciate it. I mean, you are growing this industry like leaps and bounds. Every single person I've brought on this interviews, and I've only had the top dog so far. You know, I definitely want to get it more into the community and get other people on here and get them some exposure. But every single person that I've brought on, I've asked them, who's a YouTube channel or somebody that you follow, and every single person has said Sonoma Strong and how great you guys are and how you guys got them into it. And that says a lot in itself. So
Right on, right on. Yeah, we just try to keep it real. We don't try to sugarcoat nothing for no one, you know what I mean? And really, it makes us feel good when people actually give us phone calls saying, hey, you know what? I was working a shitty ass job and you changed my life. You know what I mean? It's just like, I've been there. I've been broke. I've been homeless. I've been having nothing. And just being able to help people out, it makes me feel really good inside. So I'm not out there trying to scam no one for nothing. And like the JoJo said, we really, really take it serious on the people that we choose and try to help out, because it's a lot of work sitting there trying to teach people everything. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's not just like, okay, we're just showing a bunch of stuff here. This is what you do. Here's the. I mean, we sit there and we really try to like pump you guys up and motivate you and send you in the right direction to make your business a good business.
and what I see is you make it personal to each person. You give a different formula and you really get to know the people and their situation. And then you go from there in the advice you give. And I've definitely recognized that and I respect that a lot.
Right
So
on, right on.
thank you guys for coming on again. I really appreciate it. And I'll keep you guys posted with the weekly show, what day I choose and, you know, the time. And I'd love to have you guys a part of that as well.
Sounds good. And just so you know, this is a record for us. We've never been on YouTube for 2 hours.
No.
Oh my God. Wow.
So we did that today.
Hell yeah. And I'm sorry keeping you on so long,
Oh.
but it was just such great conversation. I didn't want it to end.
No, you're all good. You're all good for sure. We appreciate you having us hop on.
All right. Well, thank you again, guys. And guys, again, if you haven't already subscribed to their channel, make sure to get over there, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button on here. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
All right, take it easy, guys.